Hi, and a very good day to all. 3 ways to square a Python list: looping, list comprehension, and a Python library which I am going to talk later in this video. Looping, as many of you might already predicted that this is a for loop I am talking about. I have created a list 1 with elements 2, 3, 5, 6. So these elements I want to be squared and stored in a different list. So I will create an empty list. In that the square value gets stored. Sq equals to empty list. This is how you create an empty list in Python. Now I will write for loop. For el stands for element in list 1, and each of the elements of list 1 should be squared and stored inside sq, our empty list. So for that we have a function called append. I will be using that function, square and place the element in our empty list. So sq dot append el. If I only do el, it will not square, it will copy each elements 2, 3, 5, 6 and paste it in sq, which is our empty list. So the list will end up looking like same. We want a square value, not the same value. In this case, as I discussed in my previous video, 5 ways to square a Python list, I will use exponent operator, this, to square and place those square elements inside our empty list sq. Now let's run the cell. 492536, just the square of each of the elements. If this method comes to your mind the very first time, then you are so used to loops, which is not a bad thing, but also not an optimum way in my opinion. Moving on to list comprehension. List comprehension is itself a vast topic that can be covered sometime later, but for this video purpose I will just write the list comprehension and move on. So for list comprehension, similar, I will create a list variable list2. I will start the list comprehension. El, which needs to be squared, for el in list 1. This is how list comprehension syntax looks like. Print list2. Let's run the cell. Same value, right? In my opinion, this is the best pick out of 3 because list comprehension is usually faster and quicker to write than for loops. This screenshot I took from a website which says list comprehension is faster. Link in the description if you want to check it out. Moving on to the library. The library which I want to talk here is Numpy. To use it, first we have to import it. So import Numpy as MP. I will run this cell to execute Numpy. Now Numpy has a square function which also I discussed in my previous video. So that square value, that square function can also be used even in the list as well. List 3, the variable mp dot square and the value which should be squared out of is list 1. Print list 3. Now let's run this cell. 492536. This library is a go-to library for data scientists, and less code to write as well. So less is always better in coding. As I said in my last video, it depends on the environment you are in. With respect to that, the above techniques will work. If you have any other way, comment below. The code if you want, will be available in my GitHub profile or in my Telegram channel. Link in the description for both. Definitely try and experiment. So these techniques will be in your mind. Whenever you stuck with square operations, these techniques might helpful. I hope you learned something from this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.